Hello and welcome to Quarry Kid channel. Today's video we are going to build the Iron Golem farm that I designed, which is strictly above ground and does not require a trip down into the nether. So I'm not using a daylight sensor to activate the zombie reveal. And I have prepared this site. This large area is my test site for doing test builds. And over here, I constructed this small village and populated it. I think I got about 10 or 12 villagers in there now, so that I have access to a couple of villagers for the Iron Golem farm. So let's get started. Over here, I have a chest with the required materials. We have, let's see, 128, 130, 139 cobblestone blocks. Most of the construction is cobblestone. I need 6 spruce slabs. I need a piston. I need a pressure plate. I need some fence. I need some eggs. I need 2 redstone dust. I need 8 hoppers, 3 beds, a campfire, 8 chests, and then I have a bunch of boats that are going to be used to capture or to catch and transport some villagers, and also to capture a zombie or 2, and then rope to pull them around in case I need to move them. So let's get started first with building the actual structure. So I'm going to take all of the cobblestone and I will take the spruce slabs and just get started with that. Oh, forgot to mention 68 glass blocks and a bucket of water. So over here, I have marked out these areas already. As you can see, just to save time and to kind of make it clear where the site is, I already converted all of this area, 7 squares out from each side, into a pathway. And I marked off these 3 5x5 areas. So this first 5x5 area in orange, I just put some orange wool down into the ground. This is going to be the spot where the iron golems land and are converted into iron ingots. The white 5x5 area is the actual little hut where the villagers are. That's where they're going to reside, and where the 3 beds go, 1, 2, and 3. I'll probably get those right away too. And then this purple area is where we hide the zombie, and also on the very end of it is what I'll call a bit of, it's kind of like a chicken coop, and it's going to have 2 chickens in it. So this is a chicken activated zombie reveal to scare the villagers and get them to produce iron golems. So I'm going to start first with the the villager hut. And yeah, as I mentioned, I think I'll go get the, I should have grabbed the beds right away. So if you don't know, Iron Golem farm requires 3 villagers, and they need to be able to sleep. So we're going to put 3 beds in. All right. And I do need to get up here once. Because I need to be 4 blocks high. The entire structure is 4 blocks. So we'll start with framing it out. We're going to leave this area open. This is a doorway. That was a mistake. This is a window. Another couple of windows. Okay. So this is the door. We're going to let the villagers in later. And we're 4 blocks high. So I'm going to fill that in. That covers up the building. Now, I'm going to place these 6 wood slabs. So through this opening is going to be where the villagers get to see a glimpse of the zombie. But I don't want the villagers to be able to go through here, but I do want them to be able to see them. So I'm just making it a little bit narrower, and with 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top, and they will be able to see the zombie when he's raised up, but not be able to get to him and get killed by him. That is the villager portion. And we're going to wait until the whole thing is constructed to bring in the actual villagers. And right now, I am going to bring in the piston, the redstone, and the pressure plate. And again, the idea with this Iron Golem farm is that there is no need to get into the nether, so to get materials to build a daylight sensor. You will simply be able to build it with materials that are more readily available without going into the nether. Sorry. The piston belongs right here, pointing up. We then have 2 redstone dust and a pressure plate right here. And when we stand on the pressure plate, we lift the piston. The piston is going to actually hoist a boat up, and the boat is going to have the zombie in it, and that's how it functions. So, and if you're building it, I made this. I put the purple, white, and orange wool in the ground just to kind of show the area a little bit better. You're probably not going to do that when you build it, but that's how I did it. I'm going to continue with the with the zombie portion of the construction. But not I'm not going to complete it entirely. I'm going to leave an entrance here to lure a zombie in. And I'm just going to leave this observation window so we'll be able to see the zombie on the boat later. And there we go. So later, when it gets dark, we're going to have a boat in here. It's going to sit on top of this piston. I'm going to lead some zombies through here, and one of them will end up hopping in the boat. It's pretty reliable. They tend to go in there pretty easily. So that is the structure so far. This remaining purple area with the pressure plate is going to be fenced in. And, well, let's get the fence now and fence it in. And we'll make that the last step before it gets dark. And then I have to sleep. The sun's starting to go down. The fence is double height. And to get chickens in there, I'm going to want 2 chickens in here. I just toss the eggs up against the wall here, and they drop in, and when two of them hatch from throwing them in, then those chickens running around in there will activate periodically the pressure plate and erase the zombie. Now it's time to sleep, and then we'll continue. Back after sleeping in the village, and I should probably eat. And we will continue on the build. The next step is to build the area that actually captures the iron golems. And for that, I need my 8 chests, and I need my 8 hoppers. We'll put the fence aside for now. Sorry. I'm probably going to start with sort of framing it in. So what will happen when we start generating iron golems? The iron golems are going to be generated up on the roof here, and there is going to be water flowing, and it will push them towards this opening, and they will go into this opening. In this opening, well, I'm going to start here first with a block in the center, but I will place my 8 chests, and I do it like so that they combine. So now we have our eight chests, and now I need to place my hoppers. So each chest is going to have a pair of hoppers that are feeding into it. So that one and that one, these 2 hoppers are feeding this large chest. And likewise, these 2 feed into this one, and so forth. All right, so now anything that drops into the hopper will end up in the chest. And this is just a blank space. We'll probably put some blocks here just to fill it out so it looks nice and uniform. So this is the hopper area that will catch the iron golems. They will go across the roof, fall into the opening, land in here, and that's where we use the campfire. The campfire will actually destroy the iron golems and turn them into iron ingots. We'll put the campfire out towards the end after we get everything set. At this point, I need to get up onto the roof, and let's see here. I'll just put a block here, and I happen to have some scaffolding. So now I'm up on the roof. So we have this section here, the chicken coop on the end with the pressure plate, the zombie lifting mechanism, and the area to drop iron golems in. But in order to restrict where the iron golems spawn, I need to have some material up there that they will not spawn on. And they're not supposed to spawn on glass blocks. So I use glass blocks for this. I think you could use other items. I think if you put wooden fence two levels high, that probably would work as well. I kind of like the look of the glass block. And we're going to get, glass all the way around this guy. Yeah, let's get the second level. You do need 2 levels. If it's just 1 level of glass block, the iron golems can kind of hop up on top of that and escape out of this mechanism. And then you got an iron golem wandering around outside your your Iron Golem processing system. And that doesn't do you any good, because if he's out there on the loose, then they don't continue to spawn them. A few more glass blocks. Let's see. And that's everything. So the entire thing, the entire top level, is now surrounded by 2 levels of glass blocks. And I do need to get back down, because the next step is going to be to add the water at the top. I'm just going to run, get my bucket of water. Now this, I know there are a lot, there's several Iron Golem farm designs out there. And what I was looking to do was have an Iron Golem farm that will generate a steady supply of iron ingots for me. It's not the most productive farm, but as far as my gameplay goes, once I have enough iron ingots, I don't need to have really a large number continuing to come in. Just get a steady flow of them, and that's enough, right? So it's, as long as you always have enough iron, that's kind of the goal of this. So let's just review real quick what this looks like. I'm probably going to set some scaffolding out here just so we can take a look. But we have this structure that we built. It's on a 5x5 for trapping the iron golems, a space between the two, and then a 5x5 hut for the villagers, and a total 5x5 area for the zombie lifting system. And the operation is going to be done by chickens, a pair of chickens in here running back and forth. They will lift them periodically, scare the villagers, and we get the iron. And we get the iron golems and then the iron. So the next step, I'm going to go ahead and put the fire in. And this is just a campfire, and that's enough to destroy the iron golems. They will drop in here. Here's a quick view from an elevation. All right, so I think the sun's starting to go down. The next thing that we need to do is we need to get 3 villagers inside there and seal them off in here. Just going to put a block down here. So once I get the villagers in here, it's simple enough to close them off with a block here, and then they get another window, and that's the next step. But to do that, I am going to actually have to use a few gates, because how I do this is I sort of drag them in a boat. To get them inside here in this area, and so I'll pull them through. I trap them off, and when they get in, that's it. Then I have my villagers in here. So that's going to be, it's a little bit of the tricky part. I have them nearby. I'm going to take my leads. You have to keep your cobblestone blocks, or whatever the blocks are that you're building it from, and keep those handy. Keep the fence gate handy. Probably leave it there. And so the process will be to bring out a villager, get him into a boat, pull him over in front of here. I close off the gate, and then he really has no choice. Eventually, he just goes into the building and claims one of the beds, and I seal him off in there until I get the next villager. And so it sometimes takes a little bit. Probably going to get one of them in there. Maybe I will demonstrate. Let me get the other 2 without putting it on video, and then we'll have them populated with the villagers. And now it's getting night again, so we will take another break. Okay, it's daytime again, and we're ready for the next step, and that is going to be to try to get one of these villagers out of the village and into the hut over here. So to do that, I am first going to open the door, and then I'm going to place a boat right here, and I will probably destroy a couple of these beds, destroy a couple workstations, and see if I can entice one of these guys out. It usually works out all right. Oh, I got them. I got two of them. Let's close that door. Oops. Shift is what I wanted. All right. To get the boat out of here, I gotta remove this, so it's kind of a temporary thing. But maybe a little bit quicker than I thought. Lead. And he's on his way. And of course, this being turned into pathway, that's a little bit of a step down, so it's no problem going down. Actually hear a zombie. There's this area that I want my rope back. This area that I have built for my demo area is on top of a large kind of cave system, and so they're not that far away. And let's see if we close this off. Yeah, I like to just trap them in here, and I'll get them in. And not always the easiest method. Sometimes, oops. Sometimes to get them in, I'll kind of cordon this off, and we'll put a gate there right now. All right. See my fence back. I will have to do this to be sure that I can pull the boat in again. Let's see if we can get this guy. Throw a boat down. Push you in. Good. Good boy. And instead of using the rope, I'm just going to paddle him over. So we're fenced in again. Gonna have to open this guy. And like I said, kind of got to bump them in sometimes, got to entice them to get in there. Eventually they do go in. Come on, buddy. All right. Let's make it a little more constrained, and yeah, eventually you don't have a choice. In you go. All right. That's 2 villagers in. Well, I'm going to keep filming the villager process. Got my fence back. So now I got 2 guys in here. We got to go get one more. Yeah, see what we can do to get one out of there. And no, kitty, I don't want a kitty in here. Hey, run off. All right. Yeah. If they're reluctant, sometimes I bust up some beds. I take away their workstations. And then they seem to want to go explore a little bit more. Well, I might have to edit this out just because it's taking a little bit longer to get one of these guys going. Come on. Maybe not. Come here. And we got him. And switch back to the rope. It's a little bit faster. He's coming along. Gotta get him all the way in. All right, that's constrained. And in you go, bud. Let's see, I got a little bit too much stuff here, so I'm gonna have to throw something out. We'll just throw these out. Because I want the cobblestone. In. Get in. All right. 3 villagers trapped inside the hut. At this point, there's no more need for the fence. And I'll probably turn this all back into pathway. And carrying around a little bit extra stuff, so I'm going to have to put those beds back. Otherwise, my villagers are not going to be happy. And let's put all their beds back. Oops. And their workstations. All right. So one more quick review. I have everything ready to start producing Iron Golems, except for the zombie, which we need it to be dark. Oh, I need a boat in here too. Hang on. Let's get a boat. There we go. Uh-oh. I guess I'm a little stuck. Hang on. That wasn't the plan. Let's see if we can get that in there in position. All right. And, well, I want to test it. So now I'm going to open this up. There we go. And I'm just going to, let's see, what can we throw in here? There we go. All right. Maybe we can see from this side if they get out of the way. So they're in there. Not a lot of room for the villagers. The zombie, I'll lure in here. He'll hop into the boat. Once I get a zombie in the boat, I need to close this off. A cube or a cobblestone here and a cobblestone on the other side, just to make sure that they don't escape again. And that's pretty much it. And I don't want anyone getting in here. All right, now we're going to wait for it to get dark. Okay, we're getting dark now, so we should hopefully have some zombies showing up soon. And what I do want to avoid is I don't want to get a, what do you call it? Well, certainly don't want to get a creeper going in here. There's a creeper over there. If I spot creepers, I'm going to have to whack them because they could become a problem. All right, zombies, where are you? I need a zombie. I don't need spiders, don't need creepers, don't need the skeletons. The good news with the zombies is they can track you from pretty far away. So as soon as one gets anywhere nearby, it's usually not too tough to get them to start to follow you around. Right, that's going to be the plan, to run through there. Let's find that zombie. We just need one. Sometimes I get lucky and a pair of them will follow me in there. Oh, here we go. We got a zombie. He's in the boat. That worked. Bingo. Closed. Closed. I'm going to close that off too. That's it. I've got a zombie in here. All right. We'll try to go to sleep, and when it gets light out, we'll put the chickens in and see how the system works. Okay, one more quick review. I did have to go run around here, clear out a few creepers that had spawned into this area, and we have our structure completed. 3 villagers, 3 beds, 1 zombie sitting in a boat. That was easy. But he's down low, so he's not going to be seen by the villagers. In order for him to be seen by the villagers, we need something to lift him up, and that is going to be operated by chickens. And I have done testing with the system, and I found that 2 chickens nobody yet. Hopefully I brought enough eggs along to get 2 chickens. Well, that was 16. Okay. So because I think some eggs fell on the onto the pressure plate, it lifted him up, lifted the zombie up, scared the villagers, and they promptly generated the first Iron Golem here. But I still need my chickens. There's number 1. Oh, I forgot something. That's a mistake. Sorry. Now I got a chicken in there. I left one thing out, and I'm going to fix it right now. I need to close that off. All right. So the zombie has a chicken with him. That's fine. Doesn't hurt anything. But I did, hopefully I still get chickens to spawn. Okay, I got 1. Come on. All right. I'm going to have to go get some more eggs. This chicken is already capable of raising up the zombie. He's now seen by the villagers. The villagers are panicking. They can see through here. And they are making iron golems. So we will need to, to make this work efficiently, you really need 2 chickens in there. You get away from that a little bit. And with 2 chickens, they get a good amount of activation, yet the chickens walk away from the pressure plate long enough that the zombies or the villagers can sleep at night. So let's just take a quick look here. You do have to go and search the chests. Oh, good. I got 3 here. And let's see, 3 more, and the flowers. And of course, the flowers are really handy too. I do breed a lot of bees and keep beehives, and it's always nice with the Iron Golem farm to get all the extra flowers that I can use for the bees. So that is my kind of a low cost, very basic materials Iron Golem farm. Another one just spawned. He may hang out here a little bit. Oh, and we got an escape. All right. I may have to put, and that's an issue with the water. It does happen every once in a while. The water will lift him up high enough that he can hop up here. So I'll probably go on top and just put some more fence up there, and that should take care of that issue. I'll have to put my scaffolding up. We'll make that modification, and I'll be back to show you that in just a few minutes. Okay, let's fix this. We had one issue where the water up here is high enough that when an iron golem forms, he's actually able to get from the water up here onto the top of the glass. So we really need to address that so that we don't have them escaping. I grabbed him, I put a lead on that iron golem, and I tied him up to the fence over here to keep him out of the way. But I think what we're going to do is block this. 1, 2. I had to get a few more materials. So my material count is, that I originally showed you at the beginning, that's off just a little bit because I'm using a little bit more glass now. And I don't think I need to go all the way around. Just where the water is flowing like this, that should be enough to, we'll do 1 and 1 more. So covering it up to here, at that height, I don't think the iron golems are going to slip out anymore. And I wanted to make 1 more tweak. Again, material I didn't show at the beginning. But because this area is this is exposed at night, I do not want to have anyone like a skeleton shooting arrows in here and doing anything to the villagers. So I think just putting fences up in the windows here is enough to stop that from happening. And I'll open this one up again. There we go. All right. Where did you form? In there? It's I think he should go down. That's kind of a weird place to form. If he formed in the wrong area, unfortunately, it seems like it's not 100% guaranteed, at least not with the glass, that they don't that the iron golems don't form somehow in the wrong area. That being said, I have a couple of these systems running, and I really don't have too much of a problem with it. They usually do form in the appropriate place. If they don't, I just get rid of the iron golems and tie them up somewhere. Let's get him out of the way. and hook them up over here. So yes, iron golems need to be, I think the distance is like 18 blocks away uh, for the villagers to spawn another iron golem. Oh, and last but not least, I brought a bunch more eggs. Come on, we got to get a chicken. Chicken number 2 is in there. That's what I leave it at. And while we were down there making chickens, another iron golem formed. All right, everyone, this is my pretty simple to build. It takes a little bit of a good sized area up. Takes a bit to build it, but none of the materials are difficult to get, and it doesn't require. It's loud. Doesn't require a trip down into the nether. You can build this as soon as you have glass, cobblestone. You do need a bunch of iron at first to get the to build the hoppers. And but once you have the hoppers and you know you need a campfire, it's pretty straightforward, and you'll get a steady supply of iron ingots, and you just got to go get them out of the chest whichever one they happen to fall in. All right. We'll watch for one more spawning, and hopefully he ends up in the right spot. And we got one. And like I said, they will most of the time, I think, at least probably 90%, 95% of the time, they will spawn in the appropriate spot. Eventually, the water just drives them down into the area to catch them, and you get your iron ingots. So that's my video for today. Hope you like it. Let me know if you want to leave a comment what you think of this concept. Um, one more version of an iron golem farm, an iron ingot farm, but it works. It's simple. It just takes a little bit to build it, and the hardest part is getting the villagers and getting them in there. Zombies are the easy part. So that's it. Have a good day, and look forward to the next video. Thanks for watching.